Okay, so now we're going to take the other one, the other bias tape, and we're going to sew up the same way we did. We're going to give ourselves a little tail though so that we can tuck when we're done and we get ready to turn. So we're going to sew all the way around here with a tail, and we're going to run into some trouble when we get to this corner. So we'll just cross that bridge when we get there. Okay, so let's start sewing. Let's go back to what we're supposed to be at, 5 millimeters with a 2-point. Same thing, we're going to sew from the front with our bias tape, and we're going to give ourselves a little overflow tail. So let's set that down and backspace a couple, backstitch a couple, make sure I went all the way back. Okay. Okay, so we are lined up. We're right at the edge of both of these. Okay, we're going to go slow because we're going to be making some turns. And because we're dealing with bias tape, we're going to try not to pull too much on this bias tape. We can put the puckers in the back if we have to, where nobody's going to see them. So let's go ahead and keep pulling it around into the edging. Okay, lift up if you have to. Lay that fabric down. If you only can do a couple stitches at a time, do a couple stitches. So pick up that and move that fabric around to get around that corner. Okay, so let's just go 1, 2, pick up, turn, couple stitches, pick up, turn, couple stitches. Okay, I think I'm off of the vinyl. Let's give it a shot here and see what happens. Okay, we're going to shut this. We're going to backstitch a couple once we get past this curve, and we're going to see how we did before we go any further, because you don't want to go all the way to the other end and then have to come back and fix this. So we are going to come down the edge of this curve. Let's get to the bottom, to the straightaway, and see how it looks. Let's go a couple more stitches. All right, that's good enough. Let's back stitch. Okay, let's stop, and let's see how we did. See how I curved that around the edge like that? So let's turn it now and see what happens. Did I give myself enough leeway? I might have a little bit of a pucker there. Nope, I think it's going to be fine. Can you see that? You really can't because it's dark fabric. But what I can do is, I probably should have been a little more generous on that one little edge there. I think once we get the top stitching in, I think it'll lay down right quite well. Okay, do you see that? I think it'll be fine. Okay, all right, so I'm going to continue on. It's going to take me a while to get around the next corner too, so I'm not going to film it. I'll come back when I have all this done, and we're going to show how to make that tuck, turn, and then top stitch. Tuck, that's it. That's the whole thing right there. So it's a tuck, a turn, hide it in there, and then we're going to do the top stitching. Okay, so let me go ahead. You know, I might take this out and try and be a little more generous here, so I don't have such a, I don't know if you can tell or not, but actually that will make it stay more flush on Kyla, so it may not be a bad thing. you know, to have that tend to go forward like that. Do you see what I'm saying? It may not be a bad thing to have that, so it sort of forces the fabric closer to the body. Do you see what I'm saying here? So I might just go ahead and leave it just like that and do the other side the same way. Okay, so anyway, that's where we're at, and then when I come back we'll finish sewing this up and we'll talk about our how we're going to do the connection in the front. Okay, I'll be back. Okay, I have decided that I didn't like that after all, and I want this to turn out nice, so I took it out to this point right here. Just about right here. No big deal. Okay, and then I added more of a, I eased in more of the bias tape around here. And to make it easy on myself, I have decided to pin it down so that it's easier to work with. So this is where we're at. So now I'm going to continue sewing this all the way around the outside. Okay, so let's go ahead and do that. I'm going to come back and pick up some of these stitches, so go over some of these here. Okay. Okay, so let's get going here. And with this, and with the needles, I mean the pins, it's faster sewing too, so you know there's a couple advantages to those pins. But you're still going to make those turns like you did even without those, even with those pins in. What do I have extra here? Tends to want to pucker on me. Why is that doing that? Okay, it seems like the bias tape is stretching on me a little bit. So let me, I don't want puckers in it, so I'm going to have to adjust. Now it's evened out again. I don't know why that did that. Okay, it's right here again too. It's got to be that little bit of a that downslope, because there is that little bit of pull in the fabric there. You know what would be cute in this too, that's not vinyl, is that brocade, those really pretty brocades. I have some black and gold brocade. That would be really pretty too. I mean, there's just so much stuff you can do. Okay. Made it all the way around. I've got black fabric all over me and black thread all over me. Okay. Alright, let's see how it looks. I I have a pucker here. I'm going to have to fix it. Okay, so we're going to turn this over now, and I have another pucker here. Oh, darn. Well, shoot. I got 2 puckers already. Okay, well, I'm going to fix my puckers, and then we will come back and do the top stitching. It's basically the same thing we're going to do on the top that we did on the bottom. So same thing, fold down, tuck under, put a pin in it. Okay, so let me put my let me fix my puckers, and then I'll be back.